Okay, so next up we've got Hits Radio. I've never even heard of this. Well, they're all British ones, these, I think, aren't they?
I love the line where you're like, just give me a best friend who's hot.
Yeah.
Do you think you've achieved that now with Travis?
100%. I'm like, look what I got.
Oh my God, the ring. We are joined by someone who made UK chart history this year as the first female artist to achieve 13 #1 albums in the UK. She's won Grammys, Brits, all the awards. She made history with her record-breaking Eras tour. She got her masters back. She's a performer, a businesswoman, and an icon. We're, of course, talking about the showgirl herself, Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow. That was a great intro.
That was
you.
good.
Yeah.
You really pulled out all the stops
was
there,
great.
Fleur.
Beautifully done.
You know what? We're just really honoured that you took the time to come and see us and have a tea.
Yeah.
You know? You're very busy.
I
Fleur.
mean, you know.
I feel like I recognise that name. I maybe heard this woman's voice.
This is top priority.
Maybe she was on Radio 1 at
I
some
wanted
point.
to come see you guys. You've been so supportive and so amazing. And got a new album coming out, which just is... I mean, it's out.
It's out.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's
It's
Yeah. Incredible. We love it so much.
We've been listening this
We have
morning.
been listening.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I just need a second because I can't breathe. Can we all just like...
Can we just pause?
I'm going to really struggle to hold this together. But on behalf of everybody listening, I will try and ask you a
Yes.
question. Well, I think we all have like an album or song of yours that defines an era in our own lives, right?
Aw,
so like
that's
for
so
me,
nice.
Midnights
Yeah.
was very
It's one
healing.
of the best.
Best
Right.
music
for
does,
me,
isn't it?
like got me through some bad times. What would you say this era, this new album is for you?
Well, one thing about this album that I think is really exciting is that oftentimes when I make a record, we then take all this time to plan out how we're going to put it out and make sure that we have vinyl for everybody. So there's like a lag time between when I made it and when it enters the world. Oftentimes your life can change drastically between this point and this other
Yes.
point. And for example, my last album, Tortured Poets Department, by the time that album came out, I was in a completely different point in my life. So it was like, it's
She was
an
in this point, I
interesting
suppose,
feeling
right?
sometimes putting albums out into the world. With this one, the coolest part is that it is absolutely the place that I still am in my life.
That's
You know,
great.
the music matches the moment that I'm in. So
Brilliant.
it's so much easier to come in here and like talk about music that completely accurately like reflects what's going on in my life. So that's really fun. I would say that this album is a complete and total snapshot of what my life looks like right now.
Amazing.
Okay.
Because I read that you wrote it kind of about what was happening behind the scenes during the Eras tour.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like...
Some people take like years as well to write albums. I mean, I've been writing songs for most of my life, I guess, and I'm yet to put out an album. So I do plan on putting one out next year. But I wonder, how I'll feel about that. Is it going to be, am I going to be doing mainly new material? Is it going to be like a greatest hits? Am I going to use some of the songs I wrote with Richie? I've got all these things to ponder and decide, I guess. But I think it's going to reveal itself, As I was saying earlier about life, I think I've just got to just put my best foot forward into it, and show up consistently, play consistently, which is, the last couple of weeks especially, it's beginning to happen, and I'm just feeling that the magic bubbling up inside of me, and getting excited about some of the things I'm working on, and it just being much easier, I think. I find like I pick up the guitar and it just feels like easy again, Singing is feeling easier again. And it took a while, so long for me to get back to that space, I guess. But it's just such a nice feeling, I guess. Because I'm very good, I suppose, at pushing the doubts down inside me, I've always been real good at that, but sometimes they do, pop up a little bit. I have the little, the days where it's just not happening, or the voice in my head is just like, yeah, man, you ain't no good, or you can't like do it, But and whether I can do it or not, remains to be seen. But as I've said before, I don't care really what happens, with success in music, I suppose, or maybe even success in acting. As long as I feel like I've given it my best, and I haven't even begun yet. Yeah.
There was a lot happening behind the scenes during the Eras tour, and a lot to be joyous about. But there's light and shade in the songs that we heard for sure. Like that tour being so huge for so many people. Was that one of the most intense experiences of your life?
Definitely.
Yeah. What was it about it? Not just the scale, but that made it so intense? Because summing up your whole.
Does anybody, this dude on the left with this awesome blue coat, does anybody, I recognise him, is he an actor? I feel like I've seen him in something, but I can't remember what.
Body
Or
of
was he an
work in
actor?
one performance must have
Yeah.
been extraordinary.
Oh, it was a blast. It was so fun, but it was also so many other things, like when you're on tour for 2 years and every night is a 3.5-hour show.
Whoa.
The biggest threat,
It's crazy, man.
I think one of my favorite things
Crazy.
that anyone, like a mentor, has said to me is Stevie Nicks always said when it came to anything in her personal life, she was like, just don't threaten my show. Don't threaten my show. My main goal for 2 years was get myself to that stage and give everything to that crowd, wherever the crowd is, for 3.5 hours every night. So you're combating, you're like, don't get sick.
Yeah.
Don't let any outside noise into your head. Focus on only this one thing. If you do get sick, you're doing the show anyway. If you're sore, you're injured, you're hurt, you're pretending that you're not and doing the show anyway. And so that was a really, really astonishing challenge. And I'm really proud of how we all handled it. Not just me,
Incredible.
but also my band and my
So there is a documentary coming out, right? The 12th of December. The Tortured Poets set is coming out. Is just the last show coming out as well, or is it just that? And then there's a 6-part documentary about the Eras, I guess. Oh man, just can't wait for that.
crew and my amazing fellow performers on the stage, like every one of those people has to be at the top of their game and operating with that same mentality.
So did you stop yourself from doom scrolling?
Oh, I really am not much of a scroller at all. Like
Oh,
I don't.
you're
I
better
don't
than the
have,
rest of us.
Yeah, I don't have the apps on my phone, or else because it's really effective, right? Like they know what I want to see, and they're
Yeah.
going to show it to me.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather just spend like
I find that, man, like I can't have like Instagram on my phone, man, because I'll open it and then before I know it, I'm just like scrolling mindlessly, and then I feel my face getting closer and closer to the phone, and I feel like my soul is about to be sucked out. Anybody seen that Doctor Who episode? There's a Doctor Who episode called The Idiot's Lantern, where there's this thing called the wire in the TVs, and it sucks people's faces out, and it just goes, stretches it all out, I feel a little bit like that. So, so I just try not to have them on my phone. Occasionally I'll download them and then start scrolling and go, oh yeah, delete.
those hours doing something else, or like
That's
planning
it, man.
something
There's
fun
not
for the
enough
fans
time, man.
for the
I
way
haven't
we're
got
going
the
to put
time
out
to
this
waste
album,
on
or
it.
baking, or like I have a lot of hobbies, and I didn't really have as many hobbies when I spent a lot of time scrolling.
And something else also, so you used to spend a lot of time scrolling, is that what you're saying? But it's not just the time that it takes up, I find. Although, I have found useful and interesting things from scrolling. But in general, it's just no good, man. And it's not just the time that it wastes that you're doing it, Just half an hour just can go by like that, can't it, in seconds. But I find it affects my concentration or my ability to concentrate on other things, whether that's playing guitar or exercising or whatever, So I find if I just don't even touch social media for like a few weeks, just everything, I think it affects like the way you think or something, or it does for me anyway,
For the way we're going to put out this album, or baking, or like I have a lot of hobbies, and I didn't really have as many hobbies when I spent a lot of time scrolling.
Really? So you replaced scrolling with hobbies?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's been so much fun, like kind of mandating a different relationship with social media. Like I can get sent things, and like I'll see.
Having said all this, I did find. Around 19, I had a PlayStation 2, and I was spending far too much time on that, and I gave it away in the end. because I just realised one day, I was like, this is robbing me, you know, of being productive in the things I wanted, you know, which was making music and writing songs and stuff. You know, I realised it was just like an unhealthy escapism, which is hilarious, really, because that was around the time I guess I started drinking heavily, and it took me another 10 years to realise, or 8-9 years or something, to realise that drinking was an unhealthy escapism, you know.
I'll see everyone, so I'll see like your funny reels, like you're hilarious. You're great.
Let me take that back a bit.
I'm scrolling.
Oh, really? So you replaced scrolling with hobbies?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's been so much fun, like kind of mandating a different relationship with social media. Like I can get sent
Scrolling
things
replaced hobbies for
like,
a lot of people, I guess.
I can
know?
see. I'll see everyone. So I'll see like your funny reels.
You know,
like you're hilarious.
Anyway.
You're great. You're a great follow. But yeah, like I think that when there's so much of any type of opinion about me, it's like don't put that in my brain. Like anything you put in your brain, it's gonna like internalize. I'm just like, I have a real priority on being like peaceful and happy.
Yeah. And
Not
cutting
all
out
the time,
noise.
but
Yeah.
but not over something. I'm not gonna like, you know, have a messy, like dramatic feeling about something that doesn't actually matter and isn't really real. Because there's a lot of like, we live in a moment of like a lot of rage baiting, and a lot of like people like getting attention has now been monetized. So you have to just know like
Echo
what
chambers
world we
as
live
well,
in.
isn't it? The way
kind of
it
choose
works.
what reality you want to be in.
Yeah. Now, we have been loving the album. We've listened to many.
That's interesting as well, isn't it? Choose what reality you want to be in. And I know she's talking about, I guess, social media, echo chambers, because what you click on is what you get more of, isn't it? But I think that works like, what's the word? Not metaphorically, metaphysically. It's that's the choice we have in life, isn't it? I suppose, by the people we surround ourselves with, the environment we're in, the diet we consume of not just food but of books and of knowledge and of entertainment. Everything affects everything, doesn't it? You know, we're kind of made of all those things that we surround ourselves with. And like I've heard it said, with the sum of the 4 or 5 people we hang around with. Which I guess is true, you know. It is true. Like I feel. What do I feel? I find it easier, you know, to be good and to be great, like to move to all the things that I'm trying to do, you know, to help myself. I find it easier now because of spending so much time with my girlfriend, you know, and we're on the same page, you know, so it's easy, you know. Whereas when I used to still see other friends semi-regularly or whatever, there's always that, don't know what it is, you know, that they were still doing the same things, I guess, you know, to varying degrees. So it was easy for me just to fall back in or to get pulled back in. Pulled back in probably is the wrong way to look at it. It's easy for me to fall back into bad habits and things, I guess. And like I said, it's about momentum, I think. So, for me anyway. So, you know, just one little slip up, it would set me back like a long way, you know. But yeah, it's much easier now. But we do get to choose the reality that we live in, which isn't easy, you know. But yeah.
A tune. My personal favorite is Wishlist.
Oh, really?
It's a vibe. It's
Yeah.
a straight up vibe. I was like,
A lot of shoulders.
I was doing shoulders. I
Yeah,
was like,
a lot of that.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That was actually the last song that we finished
Oh,
on the
wow.
record, and that was when I knew the record was done.
Really?
That was when I knew. I was like, Boys,
You're
we're
done,
good.
guys.
We're good.
I love the line where you're like, just give me a best friend who's hot.
Yeah.
Just, do you think you've achieved that now with Travis?
100%. I'm like, yeah, look what I got.
Oh my God, the ring.
Sorry, the ring is even bigger in real life.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Stunning.
You would love him. You would love him.
I have a question actually. Does
Yeah.
he have any hot gay friends?
Yeah.
Yeah? Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll
I'm
sort it
single.
out.
Perfect.
I also have a lot of
Yes.
those as well.
In the UK?
Yes.
doesn't matter, Will.
Yeah, I mean, I feel this feels offline. This feels like for maybe
it's an
later we
offline
just,
chat.
you know, I
Maybe
get out my
later.
phone. But yeah, you would absolutely love him. He's a blast. He's just the most fun person. Life of any party, even when it's just us. So it's like, yeah, that is the goal, isn't it? Find
Yeah.
a best friend
It is.
who you think is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like amazing. What a
just
combination.
Somebody who
it
makes
is.
you laugh and is hot. That
we have
is
to
the-
say
That's the
congrats.
Sense of humor, I think, is a massive thing. You know, like we laugh our asses off. You know, at each other, at you know, things we're watching, things that happen. You know, we find the same things funny. You know, we've got many of the same opinions, I guess, but many differing ones, or view things in different ways. I guess because of what cultural differences, upbringing differences, although we've got similar sort of traumas in that respect, which I think that John Cleese, I heard him speak about it once, you know, that he thinks that, well, I don't know if it's his first wife, but his wife anyway, I don't think that really matters, I guess, to my point, but he said that he thinks that people end up with, or should end up with, what did he say? People that have got similar traumas. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but maybe it helps. Maybe it helps if you do have some kind of trauma to be able to understand, at least on some level, perhaps, you know, what the other person went through, was feeling. But yeah, sense of humor, man, that's got to be like the top thing. What do you think? Like, what do you think about your guys' relationships? You know, what is it that attracts you to your partners, or you know, did in the beginning, or you know, has that changed? Yeah, it'd be interesting to know, man. If you feel like sharing, let me know in the comments.
Congratulations to you on the engagement.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
We spoke to Ed Sheeran, a few weeks back, and he told us he's constantly asked to perform at people's weddings. So, is he singing at your wedding?
Oh, I mean, it would be hard to keep him from it, I think.
Yeah, he has that energy.
That's the thing is, he's like, I'm always being asked to sing at weddings. It's like, Ed, if there's a stage, you know that you'll be on it.
Exactly.
Like, he knows what people want, and he wants to give people what they want. That's the fun thing about our friendship is we both.
Man, that reminds me, a little side note, a short one, real small one. There's an album by the Kinks called "Give the People What They Want." And I think it was maybe 1983 or something. So I think they were like well out of fashion by then, and nobody bought it, man. But it's a really good album, man. Really good album. Give the people what they want. It's great.
If there's a stage.
And the song I would check out first is called "Add It Up." I love it.
You know that you'll be on it.
Exactly.
Like, he knows what people want, and he wants to give people what they want. That's the fun thing about our friendship is we both love performing, and we love writing, and we love singing. So it's like, we're like, oh, don't make me sing.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
as you wheel in your own piano.
as you're up there explaining to the house band, you're like, shake it off. It's 3 chords. We're starting here. We're going, you know. But it's that's the thing is like we love what we do. We love to get up on stage. It's actually not that hard to talk either of us into performing at anything. I saw him last weekend actually at a wedding of one of our best friends, and we were just talking about how much we love when he came out on stage with me at Wembley during the Eras tour.
Oh, yeah.
And we were talking about how when we're in a room and we're like rehearsing or writing or working together, there's really like a sort of strange like mind melt thing that happens between us two, and we've always had it.
Felt
we always
it,
will.
man.
So
Felt it.
He had a
It's
great
rare
wedding.
thing, man. It's a rare thing.
Like couple, oh God, what was it, like 8 years ago maybe?
Yeah.
In the forest, you know?
I
Just like a
mean,
woods wedding.
Just everything you want, isn't it?
I think it was Time Magazine, Person of the Year. Big up. They said your lyrics give women and girls permission to know that their internal voice matters. And I think that's absolutely where your music comes from. And Opal Light is, I think, the song that we all need right now, because you're saying like, it's all right.
great.
And a lot of us need that. Is
My
that your
favourite.
intention when you're writing, to like really hit that connection?
Thank you for saying that about that song. I'm so glad you like that one.
Oh, it's amazing. Because you say, when you know, but how do you know?
Yeah, so that song was so much fun to write because it goes through all these situations where oftentimes in life when we go through something that doesn't work out, whether it's in our personal life or in our friendships or in our career path, we oftentimes look at it as this like major setback, like we've taken a step back. But actually I've found that so many of those instances in my life have, based on how you respond to it, can catapult you forward in growth, in wisdom, in perspective. And I think those are the things that I've tried to like find to be the most attainable qualities and the most aspirational qualities in growing up, is like, can you react to certain situations in a way that benefits you and the people around you, and essentially acquire wisdom because of it. And so Opal Light is a song about like kind of forgiving yourself for having gone through something that didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. And it's because it says, you know, like all of the perfect couples like would look at you and say like, when you know, and when you don't, you don't. And when you're not in that situation, when you don't know,
you don't know that you don't know
that you don't know.
You know that you don't know.
And so it's like it's giving yourself permission to like not have it all figured out, or not marry the first person you ever dated. You know, like stuff like that. Like I'm just happy that song exists, and also like that chorus, I'm really just stoked about how like absolutely infectious and borderline narcotic it is.
That is exactly what it is.
Shocking melody.
So we're going to play the first single, The Fate of Ophelia. But before we do, can you please just give us headlines on what it's about?
I just have this fixation on Shakespeare characters that I fall in love with, and I can't stand to see them meet a tragic demise. I can't. I don't want that to be what happened to them, because wait, are you talking about Ophelia's she died? What do you mean?
How dare you?
I was
do that to
really
Ophelia.
excited to see what happened with her and Hamlet. They seemed great. And I kind of going back to like the song Love Story, which I wrote when I was a teenager, I was just like, I can't watch Romeo and Juliet not work out. What do you mean they both die? They don't in my version of things. So it's just like you just turn the movie off before the bad ending. But this is a little bit like that, where The Fate of Ophelia talks about how, you know, Ophelia was driven mad by love. And
relatable.
It talks about, the hook says like, you know, you dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. So it's a love song. And it's also just got one of like the catchiest post hook kind of sections that I'm pretty proud of. So, oh my God, it's crazy to talk about this music. It's been a secret for over a year.
I can't believe we managed to get you on the show,
Yes,
Taylor.
amazing.
Thank you for inviting me.
And somehow we managed to not ask any questions about wood, which is an incredibly
which is a whole other
interesting-
chapter.
It's a whole
I'm
other-
so disappointed that you didn't, honestly. Missed opportunity.
It's a whole other chapter,
That's a
friends.
podcast, I think.
Go listen to that right now. The Life of a Showgirl is out right now. It's Taylor Swift, everyone.
Yay.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. And now we're on to Heart Radio. Emma Bunton. I didn't even know she had a show. Well, why would I guess? I don't listen to any radio, but man, Emma Bunton was my favourite Spice Girl when I was like, I don't know, 9 years old or something. Maybe even when I was 10 or 11. I probably lost interest by the time I was 11, but you know, yeah, Baby Spice was the one for me.
Honestly, like, you just mean the world to me, and it was like absolutely you were the first person I like freaked out over.
I'm really going red now.
Just caught a glimpse of the ring.
Oh yeah, you want to see?
Yes, we do.
Well, listen. So, am I right in saying that Travis designed that ring?
He did, and he was just paying attention to everything. It turns out,
Is
because
he
when
like
I
that?
saw the ring, I was like, oh, I know who made that. I know who made that. I know who made that. Actually, you would think that I had been the type of person who would have obsessed over the idea of a wedding my whole life, but I actually never thought about what I would ever do or what I would want until I met the person.
Too busy playing tours.
It's like then, so I haven't actually even thought about that.
This feels like
Jamie Finkstone.
a significant cultural moment right here. Do you know what I'm saying?
It does, doesn't it? It's exciting.
Two icons who changed the face of popular music. The Spice Girls opened the door. Taylor Swift walked right through it.
Man.
And she...
It's so crazy to actually get to be in the same room with you, because I was telling you, I had your doll, the Baby Spice doll, and it was like my favorite one, and like we would all fight over who got to be you, like amongst the girls that were blonde.
I remember actually, I guess my younger sister, or one of my younger sisters anyway, dressing up as Spice Girls with all her mates and stuff, fancy dress and that. It's a big deal, wasn't it? What was the movie called? Spice World, was it called maybe? I loved that. They had that double-decker bus that was like... Thanks for watching. If you would like access to the full thing and loads of other extended content, Taylor Swift, One Direction, Miley Cyrus, videos of me playing my songs and others, link in description.